Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Random Hunts. I think it's part 83 or something. One thing that I forgot to mention, for those of you who are not familiar with Portable Third, I was doing a brief explanation as to how the, I guess, pre-quest healing system works. I shouldn't say healing, healing's weird. I guess health and stamina buff system, which would usually be through a food system. I was showing you guys how it works in this game. It's actually through a hot spring system, and I didn't address how to actually get what would previously be referred to as food skills. In this game, you actually drink stuff. I generally don't bother, to be honest. I don't know why, I guess it's laziness, but yeah, I can drink this and get attack up large. There's a lot of different skills that you get, and the question obviously would then be from you guys, well, how do you get the different drinks? Do they randomly rotate? How does it work? Well, they don't actually randomly rotate. Certain drinks do randomly rotate in the sense that they give you random skills, however. The drinks that you get are static in that you unlock them through doing drink quests. So in the same way that you would complete quests to upgrade your hot spring, you complete quests in order to get new drinks, basically. That's how it works. So I've pretty much done all those quests as far as I'm aware. Holy crap, Doomlink is using a switch axe. Why on earth would he be doing something like that? Well, I don't know. Something a little different, I suppose. Nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna put down my keyboard. For those of you who've seen my live streams, you know my keyboard's always in the way. We are hunting Akantor. If the name of the quest didn't already give that away. You probably don't know the quest name, but the reason why I wanted to do Akantor here, even though I seem to always hunt Akantor when I'm recording Generations Ultimate, is because this is an area that is unique to Monster Hunter Portable Third. It is called the Canyon, or at the very least that is the translation given here. It's... yeah, that's right, isn't it? So, for some reason they didn't bring this area back, but they brought back the Portable Third Akantor area. At least I believe so. Yeah, they did, didn't they? The area that you fight Akantor in Generations Ultimate, is actually it's a 4 Ultimate area where you also fought Crimson Fatalis and all of that. So, yeah, for some reason they didn't bring this area back in 4 Ultimate or Generations Ultimate. Beats me, because they did bring back the frozen area that Akantor was hanging around in. And this is different to what appeared in 2nd Gen, and it was the same with the Akantor area. That was unique to Freedom Unite. Okay, so of course Akantor, as you would expect, is weak to Dragon. And I'm just going to be attacking like this. It is the 3rd generation switch axe, very, very simple weapon design. Not very interesting, not very exciting, but it is something a little different to what I normally would bother with. Now, I am using an element file switch axe. To be honest, I would typically go for power file, but I really don't care. If I'm going to be using a switch axe, I'm going to have a sub-optimal damage output anyways, so to be honest, I don't care anymore. I used to care. I used to avoid element file. Because, for example, in Tribe, you would oftentimes, with a switch axe, perhaps all the time, I just can't remember, I only remember it being the case with certain weapons, maybe it was the case with all, but you would have the choice of upgrading the weapon into either power file or element file. It probably wasn't all switch axes, my guess is that it was certain ones, but I would always go for power file. And you had similar things with other weapon types in Tri. It was very interesting. You had R and G, which was red and green. R was usually something that had, I guess more... it had better stats, but it didn't have slots or anything like that. And then green would usually have either more sharpness or more slots, something that didn't relate directly to an attack or element value. So, usually red was the way that you would go, which would be depicted as R in brackets in the naming scheme. And it was a similar thing with element and power file with switch axe, I think. The reason why I referred to Tri is because, of course, the Monster Hunter Tri video game is indeed the basis for much of what you see in Portable Third. In fact, the relationship between Portable Third and Tri is almost exactly the same as the relationship between the coming Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World. Most of what you'll see in Monster Hunter Rise is going to have its basis in World, but it is going to have things that are unique to Rise. It was exactly the same here with Portable Third. which is exactly why 3 Ultimate is a little different from Portable Third as well, and more similar to Monster Hunter Tri. But I suppose the main reason as to why that was the case was because Portable Third was separate entirely to both of those games. It was just in the same generation, whereas 3 Ultimate was intended to be a G-ranked version of Tri. In fact, it was Monster Hunter 3G. Keep away. I don't have Adamant Seed, so I cannot remove myself of, or rid myself of, Defense Down. Of course, this is not an easy area to fight Akantor compared to the area that some of you are familiar with in 4th Gen. Yeah, it's a lot harder to deal with for the reason that there are less areas that are safe to stand in. And if you're being chased by an Akantor, you want to have full range of movement, I'll tell you what. Can I not be fucking flinched right now? This is not the best time for me to be flinched, nor the best place to be flinched. Of course, every single hit that I'm taking right now due to my defense down is really, really heavy. I've got pretty decent defense here. Well, then again, 208, no. That's not decent because I have defense down. But once I don't have defense down anymore, I will be able to show you my defense value. May as well aim for this tail, why don't I? I probably should do the elemental burst, seeing as though I'm banking on element here, or capitalizing on element at the very least. It makes sense that it would have an element file, given that this is a weapon type. Well, the Elantrian weapons in general are more element damage focused. So, but to me it would make more sense to balance it out with a power file, because that way you'd get a little bit more physical damage out, realistically. But yeah, the nature of 3rd generation Switch Axe, and it probably is the case with all generations, for the most part, you really just want to be sticking to sword mode. There's no real reason to go axe mode except to charge up your sword mode again, which is what I've been doing. But I don't mind the simplicity of Switch Axe. It's definitely not one of my favourite weapon types. If I want something simple, I'll generally go with longsword. But here, for a second I thought I still had defense down. I was about to get pissed off. But it was someone else's defense down effect that I was attributing to myself. But, yeah. If I want a simplistic weapon type, longsword is the way to go. You have more mobility, and it's just generally easier. Of course, the mobility comes from attacks like the Fade Slash, and things of that nature. Whereas here, you've just got this stupid axe thing in it. I would say that the reason why most people used the Switch Axe in Tri was because the inflated values made it seem as if the Switch Axe was particularly damaging. Of course, inflated values, when people are not used to them, can give the illusion that a certain weapon type is stronger than another, because the inflated value is so much larger. But it's really not that way, because the inflated values do not reflect the true values, and the true values are what actually are used in damage calculations in Monster Hunter. So, yeah, while the inflated values were so high in Tri, and pretty much any Monster Hunter game really, for Switch Axe, that didn't necessarily mean the Switch Axe was a better weapon type than something that had a lower or a smaller inflated value. In fact, it was probably the worst weapon type in Tri, because Hunting Horn didn't exist. So, well, I shouldn't say probably, it was definitely the worst weapon type in Tri, without a doubt, in terms of damage output. I was going to say something, yeah, that's right, this was the first game and the only game in 3rd generation to have true values present here. I can't quite remember if any games before it had true values. I don't think that any games did. If a game did before this one, it was 2DOS, but I don't think 2DOS had true values. But true values are the way to go, that's what I much prefer, and I would much rather if they kept with that. I've got no idea why they departed from it, and why they can't seem to be consistent with it. My hope is that Rise will have true values. In fact, it may be confirmed as to whether or not that is happening, if they are bringing back true values for Rise. My hope is that they are, because it's much more consistent and clear as to what sort of damage you're doing with a weapon. I'm kind of used to inflated values. I definitely played more Tri and Freedom Unite and all the other games to that of Portable Third and Generations Ultimate, but yeah, I feel like I can tell at a glance how good a weapon is with true values, whereas with inflated values you have to think for a little while. It's just like, well, what's that going to end up being? And then, if you really want to be specific, you have to get out your calculators and actually calculate what that true value is going to be for that particular weapon type. It's so stupid. I honestly find it to be unnecessary. But it sort of adds a degree of confusion that doesn't need to be there. I think that's the biggest concern. A lot of aspects to Monster Hunter are already confusing enough for new players, and then you have something unnecessary, like inflated values. Stop doing that. Anyway. When I was playing Monster Hunter World on PC, I did have a mod that showed true values instead of inflated values, which was rather nice, but that's a time long past, me playing Monster Hunter World. There are actually videos in this Random Hunt series with me playing World, because there was a time when I was playing World and giving it a chance. But, yeah, as I say, that was a while ago now. Unfortunately, we've had 2 deaths through Mystery Summer. My hope is that, well, he clearly hasn't. I would have recommended him to remain in the camp area. Actually, let's aim for this face. Let's get as much damage out as we can. But yeah, I really wouldn't recommend him to return to the fight. I would assume that he had 2 max potions that he used to get his health back on both occasions. At least that's what I would hope. Because if he has come in here with 100 health, I'm going to be really pissed off, because that's actually going to put us at risk. I mean, we've got a pretty good team here. There is no good reason for us to be failing this Akantor hunt, and if this guy wants to triple cart, it's going to not just piss me off, it's going to piss everyone else off too, so I'm really, really hoping that we can succeed here. It's going to be by the skin of our teeth at the very least, and it's not going to be on account of any of our poor performance. Oh shit, now that I think about it. I'm now at risk. Got a flash bomb going there. I will admit that now that I have defense down, I could well and truly be the next person to die. I just have to be extra careful, I suppose. I could be the next person to die if I slip up in any way. Of course, flash bombing Akantor is one way to stop him from running around like an idiot, which is definitely helpful. We don't want Akantor to be running around. In fact, it's his running around that he does that is most difficult to deal with, because he has such an incredible width to his, I guess, attack range. I don't really know how to call it attack range. This is what I was struggling with in the previous part. I was trying to describe that same thing with Tigrex, which is fitting because they are basically the same monster type. They use the flying wyvern skeleton, and we succeeded. We didn't break any of the tusks or horns. I mean, you wouldn't call them horns, would you? Tusks. But that's alright. At least we didn't fail the fucking quest. I'm definitely happy to see that. Oh dear. But yeah, that is Akantor in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. I don't fight him too often, to be honest with you, because I have no real reason to get Akantor stuff in this game except for the mixed pieces that I would use for a high-grade earplugs armor set. I think I'm using Akantor pieces right now. Well, there you go, I'm using 3 Akantor pieces. So actually, when I say that I have no reason to hunt Akantor, I'm talking out of my arse. I just had to save it by saying, except for the armor pieces, because then it flashed into my mind. But I would say that the armor pieces is enough. You really wouldn't want to hunt a monster for many more reasons than that. Oh yes, there is a tail. But I suppose the fact that I wouldn't use Akantor weapons would definitely mean that I don't have much of a reason to fight Akantor as compared to a monster like Elatrion, where I could use the armor and weapons. But the Akantor weapons really didn't become excellent weapon types, or I guess that group of weapons did not become excellent until there were skills that were designed around weapons of that kind, namely negative affinity, or bitter affinity as it was called, and bludgeoner. Those were 2 skills that I absolutely loved in Generations and Generations Ultimate. I thought that their introduction was excellent, because it gave weapons like the Akantor weapons just that little bit more of an edge, which I always appreciated in Generations Ultimate. I'm saying it like it's past tense. I do continue to play Generations Ultimate to this day, but hopefully less often these days, because I want to get back into the older Monster Hunter games. It is what I prefer, to be honest. The only reason why I record Generations Ultimate as much as I do is because it is the easiest to sit down and play. There are more people playing it, it's quick and easy, and probably more people want to see that as well. But it is not necessarily my favourite game to play. In fact, I would rather play more for Ultimate, it's just I don't have too many people to play for Ultimate with. But you will hopefully see some for Ultimate after Portable 3rd in the Random Hunt series. Anyway, I will see you guys the next time. Now, following my previous line of discussion, I'm actually going to demonstrate one Akantor weapon that I have made, and that I do often use. It is, of course, the Akantor bow, which is something of a... well, it's a popular choice, at least as of Monster Hunter Freedom 2 and beyond. It's a very good dragon bow, whether you're going for Pierce or Rapid. I'm going for Rapid today. I've got Rapid level 4 on the level 3 charge, and you only reach level 3 if you have load up. It is defaultly a 2 charge bow. But you see, there are times when I enjoy 4 charge levels and times when I don't. Because the thing is with level 4 charges is that they do take a while to charge up. And sometimes I'm not always sure if my lower DPS is being compensated for the higher damage of a level 4 shot. Maybe if I went into the mathematics of Monster Hunter, I would be able to have a clear... oh, I forgot coatings because I'm stupid. I think I can actually use coatings with this bow. As I understand it, I can. Let me see. If I can't use coating... yeah, look, I can use power coatings and close range coatings with this bow. No, just power. But power's all I need. And I'm an idiot, so there you go. I feel like I always do that. But, oh, look out. Wow, giant Naga. You guys can see that appearing on my screen there. I guess that's a comment on my Doomlink's Random Hunts part 81 it was, yeah. Okay, I need to get that shit off my screen. This is annoying. One moment. There we go. Got that off the screen. Oh. I think I hear him eating meat. Really. Poison meat. Can you believe this? Okay, let me make something very clear to you guys. Poison meat does not do that much damage, as compared to the potential of a sleep or paralysis with a group of 4 fucking people attacking the Deviljho. So I don't know why you would be so foolish as to place poison meat, knowing what can be done with sleep and paralysis. You are free to place poison meat down, but do it on the 3rd eating phase, please. Really weird, really stupid, I don't really understand it, but whatever. I am pretty disappointed that I forgot to bring coatings, but whatever. Look, there's another poison meat! This guy put 2 poison meat down. Why? What is the point? So foolish. Anyway. Having issues with stamina management here. I think I do have... I only have energy drinks, I don't have dash juice. Well, that's alright. Just gotta get that face. I'm not playing too terribly well right now. I feel a little bit distracted after that event with that guy's comment appearing on my screen. I guess there are worse things to appear on the screen. At least that relates directly to Doomlink's Random Hunts. But yeah, that guy got a little bit of a cameo in this recording. Well, but that should give you an idea of when I was recording this anyway. It is once again on the 31st of December. It is the final day of the year 2020. The final day. And we'll be heading into 2021 before the rest of the world, of course, because we are in the far distant east in Australia. Alrighty. We are break number 1 on the face. Looking for break number 2. Again, I just can't help but imagine how much better I'd be doing damage-wise if I had power coatings right now, because the thing is, this is a very damaging bow, so being able to use power coatings with a bow like this is really useful, and here I am not doing it. My hope was that the bow was designed such that I was scratching my face, so I almost fucked that up. But, ooh, let's actually try to move away that way. But, yeah, with a bow like this, I would not have been entirely surprised to... you see what I mean? See what I mean? Beggar's belief. And this is the ultimate stupidity. There are people... okay, I'm going to get into another rant. This is kind of similar to flashing a Rajang. Similar sort of thing, like... common sense would teach you not to do this. What people always do with Deviljho, and this is not just in Portable 3rd, like, this is not a Hunsterverse exclusive issue with players. I have seen this in Tri, I've seen this in Portable 3rd, I've seen this in 4 Ultimate, I've seen this in Generations Ultimate, I've seen it in every single game that I've ever fought Deviljho in with people. They place multiple of the same meat on the ground, even though, 1, the meat cannot apply the same status more than once unless he eats like 4 of the same meat, something like that. It's definitely not 2, I'll tell you that much. And you can work this out simply by doing it once. But I'm telling you, just like the Rajang Flash scenario, people will not learn to not do it. Second of all, placing multiple of the same meat is not going to get him to eat it faster. If he's hungry and there's meat on the ground, he'll go and eat it when he feels like it. That's just how it is. So you will notice that he will turn to look for the meat. It doesn't matter how far away from it he is, he will turn and run towards it and eat it. Simple as that. It doesn't help to have more than one on the ground. Now, had they only left one paralysis meat there, that was the first one, that's where the first one was placed, Deviljho would have walked to that one. He happened to walk to that one over there, but even if that second one wasn't there, he would have just walked to that one. So, if he eats again, he's just going to be fed. Now, why would you feed the Deviljho to receive no effect? Because while getting bitten by a Deviljho when he is hungry is going to give you defense down, it is a huge opportunity to attack him because he is going to be slow and weak and ultimately easy to deal with. Apart from the defense down, that's his balancing. That is how he is balanced. They make it so that you get defense down, but he's much easier to deal with. So, the question becomes, what the fuck are people doing? It's common sense. But people don't seem to have it. It's uncommon sense in reality. And again, I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for basic observation and basic understanding of how anything works in Monster Hunter. Observe and learn. That's all that's needed. I do appreciate the life pounders from the team after my pinning down, but again, I was so focused on my rants that Here we go, is that a pitfall trap? Please don't be a shock trap. Okay, good. So this is going to be a good use of a pitfall because he is currently hungry, and that's, well, he was hungry anyway. But that's one major benefit to having a Deviljho hungry, as opposed to being fed by meat that's not going to have any fucking effect on him, is to drop down a pitfall when he is hungry, which has a huge effect, in the sense that he's already going to be stuck in a pitfall trap for a while, given that he is a brute wyvern, but beyond that, if he is hungry, he's going to be in there for a really long time. So really, it makes no sense to feed him just for the sake of feeding him. So yeah, I mean, I don't look for things to rant about. They're just presented to me, and I can't help but discuss them, because it's freaking stupid. Anyway, let's try to get to that face. Of course, we are using rapid, so we need to be in critical distance to get our maximum damage out. Also need to be pretty good with my stamina management and positioning, so there's a lot to pay attention to. But I do find myself going rapid bow with Deviljho more often these days. I shouldn't say these days. I guess in the last 50 hours of play in Portable Third, I do generally go rapid bow with Deviljho. I don't know why. Just feels more fun. Something a little different. Usually if I go bow with Deviljho, it's Pierce. I think because I've always felt like going Pierce with Deviljho, no matter if it's... or whether it's gun or bow, Pierce feels like the way to go, but I somewhat recently picked up rapid against Joe, and it's kind of fun. So I guess because it's something different to what I've done historically, I'm having fun doing it here, so that's what I'm sticking to. And then I'll move back to Pierce when I feel like it, I guess. He is limping. Aside from the stupid use of meat, decent team. But I guess that has more to do with the fact that we're a group of 4 beating on one Deviljho. If you do have any knowledge of how online hunts work in Monster Hunter, you will know that a team of 4 people using endgame weaponry versus one single monster will have the monster dead fairly quickly unless the team is actually inept. So, while Deviljho is not an Elder Dragon, he's basically Elder Dragon level in terms of damage and in terms of health. Not a traditional Elder Dragon, but definitely Elder Dragon as we would understand an Elder Dragon to be health and damage wise in 3rd and 4th generation. Elder Dragons in 1st and 2nd gen, bit of a different story, they have a lot of health at G rank. Although this is not G rank, but I guess it doesn't matter if it's G rank or high rank, they will always, compared to their same rank counterparts, have a shitload of health. Get in there under the legs. He should be dying very quickly. I bet they're going to throw tranks. Look at this guy. He was going to throw tranks. We've been sitting here attacking this monster repeatedly. This whole frickin' time. Look at him. Look at him go. We've been here attacking this monster this whole time, only for you to throw tranks at the end, you idiot. You clown. Anyway, I just hate that kind of thing. It is beyond common sense. If he personally wants to capture it, then that's one thing, I guess. I don't know. I doubt that he would have any idea of what he wants and why capturing would be better. He just randomly decided, oh, I want to capture this guy. And even though we were attacking the monster the entire time and he would have almost died through a regular death, this guy throws tranks and ultimately makes it like we've just been sitting here wasting our time attacking him. I don't know, I just hate it. Anyway, that's Deviljho in Portable Third. That is his, or rather this, is his second game appearance. He is a tri-monster. And he didn't get a subspecies here in this game, kind of surprisingly. His first subspecies was in 3 Ultimate, which was Savage Deviljho, of course. And it's very odd that he didn't get a subspecies in this game, considering this was basically the subspecies game. The big selling point for Portable Third, at least for me when it came out, was that it was tri, but with some species of tri-monsters. There were no tri-subspecies. It was all the same stuff. Well, all different monsters, I should say. It's the opposite of all the same stuff. That is my 5th Deviljho gem, keeping in mind that this is a high rank game. So it's effectively a crook, I suppose. Anyway, I seem to be keeping track of my recordings a little better now, so that should be the end of part 83, I think. So I guess I'll see you guys in part 84. I don't know if we will continue in Portable Third, or if we will move on to Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. We will have to see. It really depends on how difficult it is for me to get into proper hunts in 4 Ultimate. I would like to record 4 Ultimate for you guys. I'm not forced to do the older Monster Hunter games. I would say 4 Ultimate might even be getting to the point now where it's considered an older Monster Hunter game, but it isn't to me, so that's not what I would do. I wouldn't refer to it as old Monster Hunter. But yeah, I would like to play 4 Ultimate either way. It's basically a better experience. It's comparable to Generations Ultimate, but it's a better version of it, in my opinion. So yeah, with that, I do thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. And by the way, next time you do see me, it will be in 2021. You'll be seeing this video in 2021, but it is not 2021 as I am recording it, so I bid you farewell from the year 2020. I'll see you guys in 2021. Catch you later.